Human beings thrive on routine. There are great benefits to be had from following some kind of established schedule. For autistic human beings, routines bring order and functionality to a chaotic world. Our routines are sacred. They reduce stress because we know exactly what to expect. When humans, especially autistic ones, have reduced stress levels, we are able to think more clearly and therefore able to stay on task. Loud sounds, bright lights, and terrible smells are plentiful when you have sensory sensitivities. Having trouble reading people and situations can make life feel even more out of control and unpredictable than it already is. Routines offer us an escape from all that, even if it's brief. Conducting a routine in a safe place, where you know the next step and have the freedom to execute it as you see fit, provides us with a sense of control over the chaos. This is why autistic people become so upset when a routine is abruptly altered. They can be our only time to truly feel in control, and if the routine is changed, it can feel as though that control is being ripped away. This is why it's important to have functional routines as autistic people, and if the routine needs to be changed for some reason, we need as much advance notice as possible.
Let's talk about 5 signs that you might be neurodivergent. As a disclaimer, neurodivergent is a very wide umbrella term that covers all kinds of conditions, experiences, and diagnoses, from ADHD, autism, dyspraxia, dyslexia, synesthesia, and so much more. So if you don't relate to this, it doesn't mean you're not neurodivergent, it just means that maybe you don't fit these characteristics. Number 1, time blindness. You have a really hard time accurately perceiving the passage of time. Number 2, sensitivity. This can be emotional, sensory, or cognitive. Basically, you just pick up on a lot of shit. Number 3, executive dysfunction. This is the feeling that you really want to get something done and you just can't and you don't know why. Number 4, non-speaking episodes. This is really common with autism or certain anxiety disorders. And number 5, intense interest that others would label as abnormal or extreme. If this was intriguing to you, I actually have a full checklist of 21 signs that you might be neurodivergent.
Someone really needs to make a building or like a little cul-de-sac for autistic adults to live in. I don't expect it to be like funded by the government because they do absolutely shit all for us, but just somewhere that like removes the stress, like quiet times, so that I know that I'm not going to have noisy neighbours that's going to literally ruin my life. Like they deal with all the like bills and council tax and like shit like that, and then you just pay like a monthly all included bills package and they deal with all the like admin backwards and forwards and stuff. All other autistic people live in there so that you would have friends that understand you and neighbours that understand you and people to like be alone together with, so you wouldn't be lonely, but then you would know that you could just like go around and just sit in like the common room with company. Like I would pay fucking good money to live.
Hey bestie, I have had a lot of people be like, oh my god, this is me. And first of all, I just want to say, anything I share is not diagnostic. I am not a doctor, not a professional. This is my lived experience, just sharing what I experience. So I will do like another video on this of what made me realise I was neurospicy. But if you're seeing lots of these kind of videos and they're really resonating with you, you really relate to all of them, you're like, that's me, then the best thing I can suggest is do your research, go all in, look up all the things. Don't just watch like a couple of TikToks and be like, that's me. Because I think that's what a lot of people think self-diagnosed neurodivergent people do. They think, oh, they've watched like 3 TikToks and they relate to them and now they identify as autistic or ADHD or whatever. That's not the case. I have always felt different. So when it was brought to my attention that it might be ADHD, I did a lot of research, and I mean like hyperfixation made in my special interest. And not just like for a couple of weeks, like for months. So how do you know if you're neurodivergent? Research the shit out of it, see if it resonates with you, talk to people with lived experience, and then if you feel like that does all resonate, you can go to your doctor, to your GP and talk to them about it, or your therapist or whoever you're maybe seeing. But I will say it is very difficult to get a diagnosis as an adult, especially as a woman, which is why self-diagnosis is so valid.
Growing up, I was called a hypochondriac, like, all of the time. And it used to really get to me because I wasn't lying. I was feeling really tired. I would get headaches a lot. I would feel really, like, just run down, mainly in my teenage years. Every time that I'd say, oh, I'm so tired, I'd get the, oh, you're always tired, here we go again. Look at it now, as a parent, it's like, Why didn't they look into that? Why didn't they question that more? Why did they automatically just go to, oh, Emma's just being Emma again, Emma's just moaning for no reason? And now it's created a lot of shame in me. I don't go to the doctors ever, even when there's a problem. The worst thing is that being constantly tired, really exhausted, burnt out, headaches, tension can all be linked to ADHD. Of course, that wasn't thought about, not for me. My doctor even banned me from orange juice as a child because I was hyper. Like, why did
autistic people? I want to know, what was the things that you used to get in trouble for?
So I could probably do like 100 of these, but the one that will always like stick in my mind, I was at college. I had already been diagnosed at this point, and all my teachers had got a booklet with like things to look out for, like what my triggers were and behaviours to look out for because it means I'm stressed. And I had a parents' evening one night because, of course, you still have parents' evening in college because that makes sense. And my English literature teacher said to my mum that I was not paying attention in class, that I wasn't listening, and that I kept treating her lessons like a hair salon, and that I shouldn't be plaiting my hair in her class. And my mum went ape shit. So for me, plaiting and unplaiting my hair is a stim for me. So I would have my hair in like bunches or whatever, and I'd continually plait and unplait it, and that was so my stims, because I used to get in trouble for stimming at school, like in primary school. I learnt to stim with my toes, and then the more stressed I was, the higher up my body it'd get. So sort of the last thing to do was plaiting my hair because it was like my head. So if I actually get to the point of plaiting my hair, I'm very, very stressed. And my mum literally gave her down the banks. She was like, the teacher was expecting her to turn to me and be like, why are you blah, blah, blah. And she turned to the teacher and she was like, if my daughter has got to the stage of plaiting her hair from stress in your class, what are you doing to my daughter to make her that stressed? And she was dumbfounded. It was brilliant. She just stood there like, what do you mean? And Mum was like, did you not read the information we gave you? Clearly not. And she made the best comment. She was like, I thought you just read the information, seen as though you're an English literature teacher. I was like, yes, Mum. But yes, that is how I got in trouble. But actually the teacher just got screamed at. It was great. If anyone else wants any more of these, please let me know, because I'm sure I've got plenty of them.
Let's play a game of Would You Rather Neurodivergent Edition. Would you rather eat this yogurt with the big spoon or touch the microfiber rag?
I can't talk right now. I'm doing neurodivergent burnout shit.
Fuck being good, I'm a bad bitch. I'm sick of motherfuckers trying to tell me how to live. Whack hoes hate under my pictures on the gram.
Weird ADHD theory with no basis claims or anything about it. I want that to be said right off the bat. Which is every single person with ADHD has two senses that they get more overstimulated than any other one. And not that other senses don't overstimulate them, but it's like these two are like the first and like can just heighten it so much, and then others on top of that then continue the overstimulation. So for myself, I'll use an example. Mine is smell as my number one, and then the second one is sound. But then I have other clients who have like touch and I guess light or sight, because like a flickering lamp like drives her insane, or like in certain rooms, different lightings, everything. I have other clients where it's like touch and sound or auditory. I have so many things. I have no idea what causes like you to have these two, but it's a weird thing that I've just...
better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss a chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. DJ, won't you turn the music? It goes by 1 and 2 back to 80 on the floor. Let me show you how.